Spring practice is going on right now. What are you guys, focused on as you try to progress into year two defensively?
Yeah, I think you'd like to take it. You have the cliche of week 1 to week 2, you should see big steps, right? And same as year 1 to year 2, your guys have comfort in the system. You should see some great steps, improvement in that sense, right? And so we want to see a lot of improvement from guys that were here from the past. But we've added a lot of new faces to this defense. So getting the coordination, building that unity, that cohesion with everybody, new guys, old guys, while still taking steps from year 1 to year 2. That's kind of the goal right now.
Who's been the most impressive new guy that you've seen, so far that you really feel is
there's been a
in?
few, man. CJ Madden's been a very impressive player for us on the edge. Nyland Green's been great. Breedlove in the back end's been awesome, addition for what we got going. So, those are just guys that are the transfer world. But, like D'Amico Kennedy's a young freshman that I think shows some great promise. Drake Carlson was a guy that redshirted from us last year, has had a great offseason, has shown some good stuff. So there's a lot of guys that are either new to this program or just young developed over the offseason that I think have kind of shown up and did some good things so far.
Even away from the field, what are you guys able to gain from having a full off-season with each other?
Yeah, I think familiarity is first and foremost. It's a balance when year 1, right? You're trying to learn everybody's names. You're trying to figure out their personalities. They're trying to figure you out. So now everybody kind of understands the standard of what we operate with and who we are as coaches and as players and as people, right? So I think that part is out of the way. We can really focus on, all right, this is what you need to get better. Yanni Karlaftis, you need to get better at this, right? And this is how we're going to train you to get better at that. And a lot more detail, like the specifics of each individual and player and position, I think we were able to get better at.
How do you feel the day-to-day approach has been, with this group of guys?
Oh, it's been awesome. I think it started this winter with Coach Rode and his strength staff, where he kind of laid the groundwork of this is going to be a player-led team, right? And we're obviously going to be there to do what we need to do, but you see a lot more ownership from the players over the program right now, which is really cool to see. And because of that, when they work. Like, it's been a physical spring. We've had 7 practices, and every practice has been physical, whether we're in pads or not pads. Guys are putting hands on each other, and they're battling and they're competing, which is a good thing. So, and because of that, guys are wanting to get better. It makes a lot more for a player to tell them something rather than a coach sometimes. So we're building that ownership in this thing, and like I said, through 7 practices, it's been impressive.
Kevin, why moving Jenkins from the edge to the inside linebacker?
I think for KJ, he's an instinctive player first and foremost, and I think it's something for him. He became a really big inside linebacker by going where he's at, whereas he's kind of an undersized edge guy. Now all of a sudden he's a big time inside linebacker, and he's instinctive. He has a way of finding the ball already, where he can maneuver around blocks and chase the ball down. And I think between he and Yanni Karlaftis right now, they're both playing at an extremely high level. That those are 2 guys that are very something you have to deal with, and our job is to get the best players on the field, and how we're going to do that, and certain things we're going to do.
How's Yanni?
Yanni has taken everything that we went over in the offseason and took it to heart, and he's trying every day to improve it, whether it's in the classroom, him asking certain particular questions, to incorporating it to the on the field, whether it's his footwork, it's his shuffle, it's his ability to read plays faster. He has grown leaps and bounds from the end of the season to right now where he's at.
Everybody's talking about Dylan Keeneman for obvious reasons. Give us your perspective on Dylan, his freshman year, and what you expect him moving forward.
Yeah, Dylan is the consummate professional. You don't expect somebody that young to have such a presence and work ethic about him where, I think, he loves what he did, obviously, but he understands that was last year. So, you love to see him take more of that leadership, that vocal role, to get everybody in line a little bit more. So I think he's kind of taking those steps in the right direction. He can still grow on that. But what you see from Dylan is the same guy every day. How he prepares, how he starts practice, how he ends practice, how he starts to play, how he ends a play. That's still the same guy. he's still out here right now doing drills. So he understands he's got a target on his back now. People know who he is, so he's got to still make his plays.
Is there a true freshman play like that for you?
Me. No, no, man. That was a special year for him, and he's a special player, man. And I think I said this all fall. There's no surprise as to how successful he was because of what he does off the field and how he carries himself, and he's continued that trend.
How is Dylan's impact, rubbing off on the rest of the team? Are you seeing a collective overall increased work ethic, you think, from his example?
And that's not just Dylan. I think, new guys. C.J. Madden's become an instant leader. Nyland Green, there's expectations, and now they hold each other to the standards. So it's Dylan obviously does his own thing, and I think successful people want to be around successful people. And once guys realize that, then everybody has success. So I think guys are gravitating towards those types of mentalities and work ethics, and when you get a bunch of successful people in the same room, a lot of good things can happen.
You moved Jenkins to inside linebacker. Nick Scorton left. Talk about rush in. Who's going to step up there? Who's going to bring the heat?
Yeah, Will Helt is a guy that we expect from year 1 to year 2 to take big steps. C.J. Madden's a guy who transferred from Georgia. Cheetah Silla from Boston College is another guy that has shown some big promise. And I think at certain times you'll still see certain guys on the edges. So we've been really happy with those guys' development, and those 3 guys have kind of set themselves apart right now. And we've got young guys like Jaira Ojada, who's a guy that's coming in and he's learning. He's going from smaller football to big football. So he's gotten better every day, which is good. He's got to continue to get better.
Second year in this defensive system, without giving up the secret sauce, do you expect your guys to play faster, to have more understanding right from the jump?
Yeah, I think so. I think the guys especially the guys that were here last year, but I think with their standard, it's just going to trickle down to everybody that's new coming in. I think we've made this system very, very player friendly, and at the same time still confusing for the offense. So it's been just going through 7 practices here. We're light years ahead of where we've ever been. In year 2 at the last place we were at to now.
How are you going to replace Isaiah Nichols and Malik Lang?
Yeah, those guys are battling. Jeffrey Emba has had a good spring, needs to continue to grow. Joe Anderson has had a really good spring. I think some of these younger guys coming in as well, like D'Amico Kennedy and Drake Carlson. It's good to see those young guys come in. Jamarius Dinkins is a guy that we expect to kind of fill in with that role as well. And then, we'll see what happens with a guy like Joe Strickland if he continues to develop. But those are big guys for us that were instrumental to the success that we had up front last year, and we got to find ways to replace them.